like, and comment. Because the king of violence told you to do so. Show some love to the Overdogs podcast, baby. I feel like I'm going to do what Tommy Fury did to him, but better. I don't want to have a reason to like him. I want to hurt him. My game plan right now is to put that pain on him. I'm going to take the money that I've been given, which isn't as much as some people might think it is, and I'm going to go in there with nothing on my mind but punching on you. I plan to be punched in my face and it hurt, but I plan to take that shit and hit him back harder. Maybe I'll still be passionate after I beat on Jake. I wanna TKO him or knock him out, and with these 10-ounce gloves and 8 rounds, I'm gonna put pain on Jake. It's a wrap. He said he's done. He said he already's backing out because I don't love him. I'm gonna love him so good on July 20th. This shit.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, right at the end of Hell One, because he's like, "I love you, Mike," and I was like, "I'll love you after."
I'll love you after.
After July 20th, I'll love you. I'm just a fighter. That's how I am. I can't help it. That's just, Jake trying to make me like him. Like, I'm not gonna, but then you talk shit. So obviously that's what we do. We talk a little shit, but then we're gonna fight about it. Let's have a good fight. That's what I'm in it for. I want to have a banger. I want to fucking punch you in the face. I want to get punched in my face. I want to hit you harder. And I want to get my hand raised. Let's not skip a beat here. I'm in this to win this. And I'm very passionate about it. I'm very intense about it. I can't control it. I do my best to be a professional and follow all the guidelines, as well as be who I am. And, I'm an energetic pro fighter who works out every day of my life and jumps up and down. Obviously, he's working out too. Whatever, man. We can have similarities and we can have differences, but when we get in the ring, I'm truly different.
Yeah. Let's jump into this. Episode 38. We got gloves here signed by Ilya Taporia, John Jones, 2 of the champs right now. We're going to be giving those away. Make sure you subscribe to the page. We'll pick the winners out of the subscribers. Comment, like. Episode 38. We always have a great guest on, but today I wanted just to do us 3. We got a huge announcement with Jake Paul and Mike Perry fighting on July 20th in Tampa, Florida at the Amalie Center, I believe. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to just have us 3 on here talking about this one. It's a huge fight. I've known about it for a little bit, but obviously we couldn't talk about it until it got announced. But it's official. You just got done talking with Jake and Helwani. Like how excited are you for this moment, Mike? Because you've been calling for this fight for a while.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. He's trying his best to make it fit towards him. It's a cruiserweight fight, 199 pounds. I'm sitting at about 198 right now. And the battle continues. I train. Every day I train, I work out, I sweat, I lose 6 pounds, I put back on 10. And I eat, I force the food, I drink the hydration, the liquids, the protein shakes. I'm taking the supplements, I'm working, and I'm getting stronger. I'm obviously excited about it. I know that I have a challenge in front of me that, I was the only person that you could call on to take this challenge that made the most sense. I've been earning this spot since the day I sparred him. Since the day that this all went down, I put this plan together. I saw that camera and I said, "Hey man, you did a good job. You kicked my butt. Just call me back anytime." And here we are. Jake wants to see where he is at after boxing for all these years, after sparring me those years ago. I'm the guy that gets to come back and have a fight with him so he can see where he's at. And my family's coming out. Florida's coming out. All the Florida goons. We're going to be in the house. Tampa, Orlando, Miami. We're going to be representing in the building. And I'm fighting the Disney kid. And It's going to be awesome. It's going to be surreal. I know how to thrive in these moments. I've been, Jake knows how to thrive too, I guess, but I just feel like he's green. I feel like there's a lot he can still learn in boxing, and I am going to go teach him, which is crazy because I'm 0-1 as a pro boxer, right? And he's 9-1, but a lot of his fights, all 10 of his fights, I mean, except for Tommy Fury, the one that he lost, I feel like I'm going to do what Tommy Fury did to him, but better.
Yeah, so I want to talk about that for a second. So it's a cruiserweight fight, right? Like, obviously, Jake was like 235-ish, I think.
I don't
getting ready
believe
for
that,
Mike
though.
Tyson.
They said that.
He looked
They
thick,
said
man.
that
He looked thick,
online,
man.
but I don't believe that he was that big. I think he was maybe 215, and they were saying 230. With his pants on and his Chrome Hearts belt loop and his his wallet and his phone in his pocket and his wet T-shirt on, he was 230. So,
All right, so we've seen him fight at like 185, 190, right? Like that's been a consistent weight of his, right? When he's been fighting. So what are your thoughts there that he won't come down below 200 because he's going to be right back up to 215 where you can't get if you wear all your fucking clothes.
well, it's fine because I've gotten as high as 199 doing this, and I'm going to continue doing this with my workouts, my protein shakes, my supplements, my lifting weights, my cardio boxing. That's the problem is like I go do 2 hours of boxing and I can lose 8 pounds in the boxing gym, but that's just going to give me speed and tons of cardio to handle this body weight. I'm going to push him around. He is going to have to carry that weight while he fights with his fighting style, which is a lot of footwork. He's going to move around a lot. And, he's trying to feel any type of heavyweight feeling that he can get before Mike Tyson against a real fighter. And, the thing is, I am going to be smaller, but I'm rock hard and I'm coming with speed and power shots, significant strikes.
I personally don't think you need to gain weight. Like you've been fighting at this 195 range, right? And it's been your bread and butter. You hit like a fucking Mack truck anyway, right? You spar with heavyweights all day because you can't really spar with guys your weight. So what's the point in even putting on weight? If you're going to be faster, the plan of attack's going to be get inside of his range, right? Because he's going to try to keep you outside. To me, it's better for you to be faster. You're already strong enough. You're going to be as strong as he is or stronger than he is anyway, even if he has an extra 15.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this at the 185. The 2 times I fought here was, I try to eat and 3-4 times a day. I just haven't really added the supplements until this time because I wanted a couple more pounds, and it worked right away. And it's not like I'm carrying, blubber. Like I'm sharp, I'm strong, I'm cut up, I got abs. But when I went to 185, I tried to gain a little bit of weight, like 195, so I could cut 10 pounds. In this fight, I'm just not going to cut, and I'm going to continue eating the entire week of the fight and just have tons of food energy to exploit and use on him in the ring.
I mean, that's somewhat of an advantage, right? Not having to cut like that. Because I've seen you like the night before you fought, Eddie, right? And you're fucking miserable. You know what I mean? You're miserable before you're going into weigh-ins. It fucks with your head and everything else that goes into a weight cut. It's got to be kind of nice going into this saying like, I don't have to really look forward to that weight cut. I can just focus on training and that's it.
Well, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of forcing myself to make. I have to wake up. I have to eat. I have to train. I have to eat. I have to train. I have to eat. And it is a lot of work. It's like the same amount as if I was cutting weight. Cutting weight is almost easier because you just don't eat. And then it's like you get used to not eating. But when you have to maintain your weight, it's a constant battle of working and eating. And if you're not hungry, you have to eat anyways. And, but I felt a difference already in sparring, like literally just 2 pounds on your body. That's solid 2 pounds added. I've put on about 6, but it's probably 2 that is solid 2 pounds. I feel it. in my sparring, in my pressure, my ability to move on people, my energy is higher. Like, cause I'm putting my weight on people, the normal amount of pressure, and then like it's not making me tired to carry myself around, and I'm not running away. They're the ones running and doing all the moving, and I'm just trying to put pressure on them and then land a couple good significant strikes, and the body weight comes through on the shots.
Yep, I feel you. So, what kind of testing are they doing for the fight? Have you even been told? Because I'm wondering how hot Jake's running right now.
Well, he's got to be hot if he went from, 210. If he really did go to 230, he had to use, something. He had to do something to get there. I don't know how the testing is going to be. They may test me and not test him. That's fine. I feel like, I've fought people who are on it. I know I've trained with people who are on the juice, and it is what it is. You can test me any day of the week. I eat chicken and steak, and I eat rice, and I train, and I just love to fight. So it's just more of a mentality thing for me.
So you don't care. Let's say, I mean, I have a lot. That's why, and then Mike's gonna, I have to go on a rant at some point. But it definitely does.
Please, brother, the floor is
Well,
yours.
it does seem like. I'll start by saying this: when Jake Paul came around, of course, I wanted him to lose. Like, I don't have really anything personally against the guy. Like, he's done his job promoting fights and getting in the fights. But I have always said he's selected very carefully the people he fights. You look at, like, when he fought Askren, I'll stand on it. I thought for sure. I mean, for the most part, I was like, I think all the years Ben Askren spent in the gym will pay off. I mean, he's moved around enough. He's like the shittiest striker almost of all time, the best shittiest striker. Like, he's been through it. He might gas out, and no, he knocked the fuck out of Ben Askren, and I was like, okay, well, he's taking it serious. Then he fought other guys where I got to give credit where credit's due. He's better knocking out Tyron Woodley. Got to give him credit, dude. I don't care. Like, you got to give the guy credit. So he's looked good, and then it seems like he kind of hit his pinnacle and started taking some easier fights after the Tommy Fury one. It's kind of interesting to me, now that he's not fighting 57-year-old Mike Tyson, he's fighting prime Mike Perry. And I thought that was I didn't think he'd take this fucking shit, dude. I mean, but then when Josh called me right before this, he asked me, like, what weight Jake usually fights at, and I didn't know this. I knew this, but I hadn't put it together yet. But now it made sense. He didn't want to go under 200. You're not an over 200 fighter. That's got to be his way of handicapping it slightly in his advantage, right? Or at least in his mind. So
he has to try.
Yeah.
And it's up to me to, accept. And I'm not going to let this opportunity slip through my fingers. I'm ready for this. I fight big men, heavyweights, on steroids, not on steroids, high-level professionals. For the last 10 years, I've been doing this. So, obviously, Jake and his team, they have... I told on Helwani, I was like, his team has been lying to him and protecting him from certain things, and this is gonna be a wake-up call and a realization. And I got nothing to lose here. I just got to go out there and fight like I want to and like I know how, and give him everything I got. And I'm not playing it like it's a game. I'm not underestimating the kid. I plan to be punched in my face and it hurt, but I plan to take that shit and hit him back harder.
Just to elaborate a little bit on your point, Mac, I'm actually shocked that he's willing to take the fight, right? He's got a Netflix deal coming up with Mike Tyson. Obviously a massive payday. And so props to Jake, honestly. I got to say this, for taking this fight, because I would have expected he takes a cupcake.
It's still 30 days, brother. It's still 30 days for him to change his mind and not show up into that ring, because he just said on Helwani that if I don't love him, he's done. And it's part of his little mind tricks. And I already told him I ain't having no bets with you. I'm fine. I got people to provide for. I've already fought you for free once. I'm going to take the money that I've been given, which isn't as much as some people might think it is, and I'm going to take my fair wage, and I'm going to go in there with nothing on my mind but punching on you and providing for my family.
Jazz, pull up the sparring clips because this is I think what everybody is wondering.
Shout
right?
out to Latori. She got that clip, and the security guard came up to her and was like, "You need to delete that." And she's like, "Oh,
Here we are
like,
watching it.
But
this is you and Jake here. What, 3 years ago, right?
yeah. And that was a week before I fought Daniel Rodriguez. And I was 179 pounds. And I don't know how big Jake was, 200, 205 maybe, or 195. I don't know. But he was probably not 195. But, that was a week before I fought Daniel Rodriguez. And I was doing jiu-jitsu that morning. No excuses. I mean, I box now. That's all I do is I box and I punch, and it's all significant. And yes, I saw that camera. You think I didn't see that camera? I said I'm gonna give Jake a compliment, and look at him breathing all heavy and shit.
That's one of the number one things like I see in this fight. Like, bro, Jake tends to get tired. He's a big boy. Lactic acid builds up. Especially the bigger you get too. I mean, I could see you guys wearing it out, and then you wearing him down. I mean, just like that clip shows.
Look, I landed the last punch there. You saw it? I punched him in the shoulder one more time.
Well, so what would it mean? Like, Mike, I know personally, like, you're one of those types, and anyone doesn't know, you can probably put this together, but, like you said, you don't want to make bets. This isn't necessarily about – it all comes down to money, but what would it mean to you if you ended up being the guy? I mean, they tried Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz, Askren T. Wood. What if you're the guy from MMA that puts a halt to this celebrity boxing shit?
I am.
Yeah. Well, what does it mean to you? Is it
bro.
just like I beat that dude's ass and you don't think about it past that? Or is there some pride you would take as representing MMA almost, in being the one that took Jake out?
Well, I understand the fight that I'm in. I've understood the fight that I've been in since I left the UFC. And I've been in this type of fight. I've been climbing towards this and whatever's past it, whatever comes when I put the pause on Jake in the way that I know how. With these 10-ounce gloves, people think that, I'm hurting people with 16-ounce big padded gloves and headgear, dude. I'm hurting them. And with these 10-ounce gloves and 8 rounds, I'm going to put pain on Jake, and I'm here for everything that comes after that. And listen, after my last fight, and I screamed on that microphone, and I was so mad, and I just wanted the world to feel my passion. I've been, I want to not curse, and I know I left that video yesterday. I got the sword, and I'm like, we're going to fucking war. It was just kind of genuine. It's like it wasn't planned. That wasn't a planned idea. I was just getting to the gym, and I was about to work out, and I was hyping myself up, and I had brought those things just because I thought to bring those things that would make me feel like this is what I've been doing this for all this time, to be the one to put a stop to this kid and take all the opportunities that come with it. I'm going to get a statue at Disney World. I want a commercial doing the damn Disney sign. Abracadabra, alakazam, bitch. You're watching the Disney Channel. Fuck yes, Platinum Mike Perry. And I just like the fight, and I want to, I'm ready for it. And I'm just so excited, bro. I'm so excited. I can't control myself. I'm just a fucking degenerate.
Yeah.
How much do you love the fact that you get to fight in your backyard?
I've been saying this too. I'm like, Florida needs me to fight here again. I need to fight in Florida again. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to be the best Platinum Mike Perry that I can be in the ring. I'm not sure what I'm gonna say. I don't think about it, because when I think about it, it comes out, I don't know, it's weird. But when I just do it off a whim and it's just top of my head and it just comes to me, I say it. And sometimes it's funny, like Tito Ortiz, it's funny shit. Like it's survival of the fitness, bro. Like
The funniest homies are the ones that are dead serious, not joking. Yeah.
maybe I'll still be passionate after I beat on Jake. I wanna TKO him or knock him out, or just pummel him so bad in the corner, put so much pressure on him that he just has to take a knee, and he's like, damn, what am I gonna do? And then just keep putting it on him, put the hooks on him, and then get on that microphone and be pissed off. Or I'll be tired in the 7th, 8th round and get that microphone and be like, hey man, thank you everybody for coming out. I think about this all the time. What am I going to say to the people after I win? That's what I think about all the time.
Dude, okay, so here's another question that I think is really fucking cool. But, like, can you imagine, as a kid, could you ever have guessed you would be filling in a fight in place of Mike fucking Tyson? Like, I mean, you're literally who they called instead of, and yes, he's 57. You're almost protecting him too, because I hated that fight right off the bat. I mean, that was another cherry pick fight. I want to take down a legend that's way past his prime, and you're the one that's replacing Mike Tyson. Could you have ever guessed that as a kid? And like, have you really? Is that sunk into you at all?
I think it's well deserved. I think I've earned this, and I think I deserve it, and I think I'm proud of that of myself, and that there is work to be done. I have a lot of work to do, a lot of push-ups, a lot of miles to run, and I got to get this working, a lot of sparring rounds to do, and I just take it a day at a time, and, all glory to God, bro. He gives me the strength to wake up every day and get stronger, and whatever that means. I forgot to ask Jake if he was a religious man or if he was a Christian. I should have asked him that. I forgot, but it's okay. I don't want to have a reason to like him. I want to hurt him. I don't hate him, but my game plan right now is to put that pain on him, and then and the fans are sometimes the worst, man. Like, especially his group of fans. Like, he's got a group of fans that come to boo him and watch him and want to see him lose, or like, I did saw this thing the other day that I can agree with. Jake Paul was talking on the street in Miami or something. He's like, yeah, don't be famous. Just if you can get rich without being famous would be better. And I'm like, yeah, but I was like, I felt that, and I'm not even as famous, right? But like, apparently, even though everywhere I go in the world, somebody knows me. There's some men that have watched me fight, and they show love, and I'm grateful for it. And I'll take my place in fame and wealth, and I'll stand tall. But also, like, I'm really gonna be famous after I beat up Jake. I'm gonna have to get security to keep people away from me. I'm gonna be like little baby out here walking. I don't think
you telling me I can finally get a fucking job? I'll work security for you.
Yeah.
I said I can finally get a job. I'll work security. Shit.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man.
What was the?
It's just. I didn't have anything to say. I was gonna talk about how we're running out of things to say, because I'm just gonna say the same thing over and over, and that's the game plan. I just wanna. He's absolutely dialed. Well, we'll see about that.
Let's see here.
199.
Absolutely dialed. Absolutely dialed.
What?
There goes no There goes no
No matter what anyone says, because the fans are out there saying this, saying that, oh, it's a win-win or it's a lose-lose, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever you could think about this fight has already been commented. And that's where, as the fighter, you have to tell yourself, you're doing it for your own reasons, and you train hard every day. Some people are like, And I do believe that I'm just going to teach this kid and beat his ass. And some people are like, oh, I'm just another washed up UFC fighter. And then, or they're like, who is that guy? Or they're like, Jake's nothing special anyways. So win-win, lose-lose. The fight is the journey, and that's what I'm here for.
But you just have to focus on yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, right? The comment section is going to be the comment section, right? A bunch of fucking fat, washed up dudes saying, you're a loser for this, you're a loser for that. It doesn't matter. You can't fucking win in the comment section. But from what I've seen overwhelmingly is people are excited about this fight.
Yeah.
As to where they weren't excited about Tyson and Paul. They're excited about this fight. They're like, okay, Jake's actually now going to fight a dog, and we're going to see how good Perry is and how good Jake is, right? On a big stage. And like you said, that's for you. That's for Jake. That's not for everybody else. I mean, we get to watch it and have a good time because of it. But honestly, that's for you as a person.
What was the very first thing you did after you got the phone call? Or like the second that it went down, where it's like this is happening. What was the first thing you did, Mike? Interesting. I was gonna guess like fucking 100 push-ups or something. Like hung up the phone, dropped down. But I like that answer.
I probably shadow boxed a little bit.
Baby, come here.
TikTok dance video. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna run through some comments here, Mike. A bunch of the Kanpai Pandas had weighed in with some questions earlier. So I'm going to bring those up. Also, we've already bought 20 tickets for the Kanpai holders. They're going to have those. And then I'm bringing about another 30 people with me, boy.
Let's go. Squad in the house.
Let me find this real quick. My bad.
I'm going to battle with all my heart's intent. I'm passionate about it.
All right, I'm just going to roll through these real quick. What dance does Mike Perry plan on doing when he's standing over Jake's unconscious body?
Maybe a little backflip on some, or I gotta do the, like the Teo Famo emotes.
How about a backflip off the ropes like Tank did to Frank Martin the other night?
I would love to do that. Definitely, I would go for it. I can do it.
All right, here's a good one. What kick-started Mike's resurgence? This is really going back to BKFC. Change in gyms, life habits, mentality. What do you think? What maybe sparked that for you? Was it just a combination of all?
A little bit of combination because everything I've ever been through, I did a lot of learning in the UFC. That's what this sport is about. It's about teaching you lessons, and I feel like there's some lessons that I can teach this younger guy who's been having success in his fight career, and then it takes a determined, strong individual to take the hits you gotta take in life, and it's just in this long journey that I realized was longer than I anticipated. It wasn't a get rich quick scheme. It was a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and then it was one day I woke up and was like, you know what? I'm gonna fight anyways. So why not just make it easy? Why not just take the easy route? I be chilling. I be relaxing. I be putting my feet up. I be talking on the podcast. I just take my time. And then when I get excited, I just let the energy out. And I go to the gym and I work on my swagger. And, and my family, I don't know, something invisible happened for sure out of having a family. I think God definitely blessed me in so many ways, and but then there's things that I see, like last night I sent a video to my wife. I'm like, look at all these cars. It's like a $10 million garage, or it's like it's just $10 million collection of cars. These, each car was like $1 million. There was like 10 in this one room. Is this special garage storage facility for where these rich people put their cars. And I'm like, just imagine how much the rent is on the storage facility for them to keep their cars here. Or they probably have some deal worked out where people get to come see it like it's a museum, and they get to have their cars here. And it's like one of those cars is worth more than my freaking house. And that shit didn't happen overnight. And like, I see these videos and I'm like, well, I've been fighting like hell. Oh, and now I'm finally getting paid for a fight, but I still ain't got, no $12 million yacht. I still ain't got one parked somewhere that I can just go drive to. There's still things that I want in this world that it's fine if I never have, because I could be at McDonald's with my family and be freaking happy. So
This is by far the biggest payday so far?
it is not. It is not by far, sir. It
Nice.
is. It is right on cue with my BKFC contract.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an addition to that contract, considering I have 3 more fights with BKFC. That money is there for me to get. They want me to fight. They want battles, and they want me to give it to them. And that's one thing too, is like, look what I did to bare knuckle, because everyone's like, man, I wish this was bare knuckle. Jake said he might be interested in a bare knuckle fight. Stop capping. All the comments are like, oh, I wish it was bare knuckle. Everybody's like, dang, bare knuckle would be crazy. So they've gotten to see how cool bare knuckle can be thanks to me. And so this is just an addition. It's a little bit more money, but it's not, it's not that money that I'm talking about. I can't go buy Lamborghinis after this and a freaking yacht and get on it every day. I could go rent a yacht and we plan a trip for a weekend and we get a yacht one of the days, and that's a couple $1,000 to do that. Any fucking regular person can do that shit. But I don't even have the time, because I gotta set up. I got to continue to set up for the rest of this stuff. And there's lots of people to talk to and lots of moves to make in the meantime. And then eventually I'll be like Josh.
Yachts can come later, brother. You're in the prime of your career. You got to take advantage of every single one of those things that comes up. You know what I mean? Like yachting's later.
I just hope I have. That's all I want, is to be able to spend time with my family later, after I really have solidified myself, and I have made it in a way that is so like great for me. Like I have money and I have investments and so this fight, my fighting lately technically has not really been about the money. I've had money now, and it's been about the fight. It's been about the battle. It's been about the journey. And I've been loving that. And I've been trying to stamp my place in history. And it's crazy to say, like, I should beat this kid so bad that it's like, oh yeah, that's what he was supposed to do. And this fight doesn't really stamp his legacy, because his legacy's already been stamped. I've already been implemented, but it's the Silva and the Tyron fight that are just like, this kid, he does mind tricks, and he tries to get in these people's heads. That's why I don't want to take any of his bets. I'm not a gambling man. I train for my money. I work hard for it. And it's fun to gamble. I fuck around on Bovada or whatever, Overdogs or whatever, and I fuck around on this shit. And I put, why would I bet a ton of money? Like I can put a $10 parlay on a bunch of shit for 25 grand, and it's like that would be more exciting to win, because there was more put into it,
Well, what if he
Mike, you know how the betting life goes. It don't turn out well anyway.
No, but it's fun. It's like I want $10 on this fight. When I watch this fight, there's $10 that can turn to $100. Yeah, let's go, puncher.
Well, what if he does like a non-monetary bet, like tattoo or some shit, like he did with Woodley?
Well,
Did that interest you?
I haven't been tattooed in years. I've actually been thinking about icing these bitches off with fucking lasers, and so no, I'm not doing no fucking tattoos either. I haven't gotten tatted in a long time. I kind of made a promise to God that I fucked up when I was younger, maybe, or I don't know. I don't.
What
really
about a
know
shirt?
if God
What about a
cares
shirt you have to
about
wear
that.
for a week that says "I love Jake Paul"? Like he's gonna shoot shit like this at you. So I'm
That's
just curious.
fine. Whatever. Like that's fine. Whatever you want to say, Jake. I'm coming to do my job. and put the fight on that the world deserves to see, because he gets those crowds. I saw the crowd. What did I say, Josh? Ice bags, excuse me. Sorry for, I like your real name.
Call me Josh, brother, please.
Oh, it's all good. Anyways, what did I say when we were in London? I was like, this crowd deserved me on this card. They
100%.
showed up for those guys, and though that was an amateur fight, all of it, the whole thing was an amateur card.
Mike's gonna go Super Saiyan. I feel like that energy, like it's almost like the perfect storm for Mike. It's like the biggest fight of his career. And you've had some big ones, man, but like this one is like the golden egg outside of like a Conor McGregor MMA fight, right? This.
You know how big the MMA community is going to show up for Mike
Yes.
up in the next coming weeks?
That's what I was going to say about the comment
Everybody's
sections.
going to be talking about it because everybody's dying for one of the MMA guys to beat Jake.
Because Jake Paul's fucking audience, not all of them know much about MMA whatsoever. They've only seen some of these guys we touted out as like, oh, Anderson Silva is one of the best strikers of all time. Like, yeah, he is, but he's also 48. And so he'd come out here, and so then his fan base that doesn't understand much about MMA, or like people like where Mike came from, it's like, dude, that guy's a dog. You tell them, they're like, oh, just some washed up UFC fighter. You're gonna have this tribalism in the comments all day because Jake Paul's fans love to just discredit MMA. Like, you MMA guys are just salty. He whooped all your boys. Like, dude, this is a perfect storm for you to go in there and shut this shit down. I don't know.
There's so many people that are just so. Their lives just must suck, dude, because they have no positive comments, no positivity towards any side. They're just so negative on both sides. They like to hurt, joke, talk shit about whatever they can that's going to be funny. And don't get me wrong, I love to read those comments. Yeah. I think they're hilarious sometimes when you see like when somebody puts a little GIF and Shrek's looking up at the at the camera smiling.
It is a good one.
Funny stuff, man. But man, you guys need some positivity in your lives, and I'm bringing it. I'm bringing 2 full fists of positivity to Jake's face.
So
July
what you're saying
20th.
is, Disney kids, sit
100%.
back and
The internet is a funny place. It's also a miserable place. Like you said, it's just it's miserable people on there. They get an audience to where they normally wouldn't,
It's undefeated.
and they just want to say anything outlandish to get a reaction.
yeah.
It's undefeated.
It goes in. I've always said, like, when people bitch about Mondays, Mondays suck. I'm always like, dude, Mondays is just like every other day. Your life sucks, bro. If you're one of those people, Monday, it's because you got to go back to work. Your life sucks, man. And I don't wish that on nobody, but get off the fucking internet. Put in some work like our boy Mike Perry has here and see where you go in life.
My dad's on social media now. He's been posting some shit. I hope that his page is private.
No, I
You
hope.
got to send me that
Yeah,
shit later.
I
I feel
gotta
like
see
I'm
that.
sure he's getting requests, but there was this thing he posted. He posted the picture of me and Jake. It's the poster, and I'm on the right. And he's like, the guy on the right is already an established legend, this and that. He's just continuing to grow and this or that. And he was like, the guy on the left is a legend in his own mind and something like a Democrat or something like that. He's very political.
Mike, you have a call-in question for you here. My dog Gokhan here is not a fan of Jake Paul. And
Hey,
so
bud.
he's 145 pounds. He's a big bitch.
Buddy. That is a big fucking dog.
He's a big boy. All right.
big fucking
Do you have a
Oh,
question?
yeah, am I talking about you? I
Holy
love
shit.
animals, man. They don't leave hateful comments.
They don't.
Although Goku does have his own Twitter page, so he could.
Oh, dude. And you know I don't run that, right?
Yeah.
That shit's so funny. That guy.
Platinum
that guy's
has an
hilarious.
Instagram. Platinum the second.
Platinum the second.
He always steps on my feet, bro. Like when he wants to go somewhere, he'll walk past me and step on my foot. Shit pisses me off, dude. He stepped right on my toes. Oh God, it pisses me off.
When will you let your kids have social media? At what age? Have you thought about this?
Bro, Ocean is on his iPad on Roblox like all day. I'm a terrible parent, I guess, but like he's
So
learning.
is mine.
He's learning on there, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you because look, I see Benavidez' son, and he's in the gym, and he got the little shadow boxing down, and we was asking him last night. We were like, I showed him a video of Benavidez' son boxing or shadow boxing, and I'm like, Ocean, you'll fight him? He's like, yeah, I'll fight him, and like Ocean is all emotion. Because, obviously you have to give your children challenges or like activities and games and stuff so they can, interact in different ways. And obviously his mom is amazing. Latoria is such an amazing mom. She's so loving and she cares about the kids and she wants hey, let's get you off your iPad. Let's go outside for a little bit. It's so hot in Florida sometimes, so going outside is tough. But it's like, let's go outside. You can eat a popsicle outside, and we'll play, and we'll talk, and we try to do that stuff with them. But up to a certain age, like I had no control of my emotions, and I lived in a totally different time. I wasn't on electronics all day long. It's just this power that a Perry has inside of them. They're so emotional, so passionate. I think Ocean in a street fight could beat up, another good little kid that knows how to box, bro. He's funny, man. And his sister is younger and much tougher than him. She will hit her head. She will smack her face on something, and she'll just look at you and just go like this. So Perry blood. It's some type of special ed, maybe. I don't know.
Mac, what's the mix up in the cards here we got? Let's finish it out with a little bit of MMA stuff and then we'll bounce. I know, look, Connor and Chandler's out. Jamal Hill bounced out of that one. I mean, who the fuck is left on that card at this point?
Okay, can I close it out, this conversation with saying, like, it is kind of funny.
of
We're
course.
sitting here kind of like, shit, what do we say? But like, we've talked about this for months, Jake versus Mike Perry. It's finally here, but it's like we know how Mike is. Like, he's not going to sit there and start building up some huge narrative about this and starting all that. We just know Mike's going to get in there and fight. So it's not that we don't have shit to say about it. But Mike Perry's got one answer. I'm going to get in there and give him these fucking bricks, like, props,
like
Mike. So proud of you, dude. So happy for you. And, I'm fucking pumped, dude. So we'll leave that at that.
Me too.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of time to talk
Honestly,
about
my
this shit.
first reaction to the fight when I heard about it was, I'm just happy for him.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it. I'm just fucking happy for him. As a friend of mine, it's a big opportunity. It's something he's wanted, and I'm just happy for him. That's it. Point blank.
There it is. Yep.
Thank you.
We know how he feels about this shit, and if you've listened to this podcast, you do too. All right. So as far as that goes, so we have Khamzat Chimaev is out of this weekend's card with Robert Whitaker, apparently based off.
Hang on. By the way, I just had food poisoning for the first time Monday night. Shitting, throwing up for 8 hours straight in the floor.
Oh God.
I took an IV. I chilled for a bit. I'm sitting there drinking a tequila 48 hours later.
Back
and
at it.
Chimaev can't get in a fucking ring and fight. What's up with that?
Well, I mean, he did have like long COVID or whatever they call it, like something. He had serious complications a long time ago from that, and so it seemed like this has been happening. Like he gets sick and then talks about retirement, him never fighting again. So like, I don't know, man. I can't speak to it, but yeah, food poisoning. I don't know. It might fuck up your weight. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Y'all pray for my mom, man. That just reminded me. She big fan of our show. She's always watching all our episodes. She watches the whole thing. And so shout out to you, Mom. I hope you get better some freaking day. She has been having a lot of trouble breathing and stuff, and she's gone to the hospital quite a few times to go get on oxygen. She's had pneumonia like 4 times, and it was, we like to try to blame it on the damn COVID shot that she got. Everybody's parents were the first ones in line getting them COVID shots, and I've seen it affect some people in a negative way, I feel like. And Yes, but so shout out to my
Shout out Miss
mom
Perry.
and thank you very yeah, Miss Young and
Michelle.
yeah, thank you, sir. And but yeah, Hamzat, they said he might retire. That's another thing too, right? It's like Dylan Dennis is talking, right? Like how many pro fights that guy got? 2. And he just lost an amateur fight and he's like, "Oh, I picked the easier fight." Like Jake's been out here fighting, bro. Jake's been out here fighting and beating people and winning. And I've been out here doing that and I've been winning, and so now this fight makes a lot of sense. Hamza has a very protected career. He's won some great battles. And we were fans, but who was that other Zabit?
No, Magomed
Nurmagomedov.
Shapirov. Magomed Shapirov.
Yeah, Shapirov. Those guys, they win a couple fights, they get their little bit of fame or their little bit of money. They got other things going on over there in Russia or wherever it
Zabit's
is.
a doctor. He's a doctor.
my
He's a little
God.
bit different. He wanted to go be a doctor. So like he was already training for that shit. So I always thought it was super interesting. He was like so good at hurting people, and he actually took. It's like a beginning of a Marvel superhero movie, dude. Like, oh, I was so good at hurting people, I became like the superhero doctor or some shit. Now I put them back together. But yeah, he's like a doctor now. But it started with him getting sick.
Some people are really good, man. People have some amazing talents. There are some amazing things that people do in this world. It's just mind-blowing stuff. And, it's just whatever anyone's path is, this has always been my path. My biggest thing, my biggest option is that I just fight for it. And I couldn't live without fighting.
Who else is on that card, Matt?
The one this week we have D-Rod. Actually, shout out D-Rod versus Kelvin Gastelum. That's a banger. That's a banger.
That's a good fight, man. D-Rod. So, speaking of which, that reminds me, because I'm very interested in this topic, because there's these people that pop for these substances, and Ryan Garcia's the substance, like the things that he was taking, the company that was catching the backlash for having the tainted substances said that they tested all their stuff and there was none of
they found
that
it only in
that
his.
was found in
Yeah.
Ryan's. There was none of that found, so they're a little upset with Ryan Garcia. And it's like, whatever that substance is, I think that's the same thing that there was a little suspension for D-Rod for. I gotta throw a little shade towards him. Me and him had a good fight. He is a great fighter. I like D-Rod. He looks very strong for this fight, considering his weight cut, and who knows which Kelvin Gastelum we get that shows up. We haven't seen the Kelvin Gastelum that fought Adesanya in quite a long time. We haven't seen that guy. So, who knows, but D-Rod's a good point fighter. He'll get some points, some inside leg kicks. He's got bunions on his feet. He kicked me with them things. And he's a southpaw. He's got good left hand, straight left, and a lead check hook or a jab. So Kelvin Gastelum might be a little bigger than me, maybe, but and
He's
it's
stockier, but
MMA.
he's short.
I think, does Kelvin try to get a hold of him and get him to the ground? I mean, D-Rod had some scrambling ability. I felt like when we were on the ground, I was like, oh, I have a little ability here. But then he stopped me from taking him down again. He fought like hell to make sure I didn't get him back down. So that's a good fight. It'll be a fun fight,
All right, I'm gonna take D-Rod. Kind of using the things you said. They both kind of brawl. They punch with their hands a lot. They don't use head kicks or anything like that. Kelvin tends to grapple more if he gets in trouble. But yeah, that range might be hard for him to beat, and D-Rod can crack.
if
Then
I
we have
made a pick, I'd say D-Rod's probably going to win it.
and then we have Sergey Pavlovich, who was on that fucking monumental tear. Just lost the interim title fight with Tom Aspinall. He's taking on Alexander Volkov. So power puncher versus Volkov's actually become kind of more of a power puncher. He put on muscle and's been hitting harder. But long 6'7", rangy, kind of similar to Kelvin versus D-Rod, kind of. But yeah, that's the other big one.
Popovich.
The Russian.
I think Sergey comes back here after
Yeah.
the Aspinall loss. The guy's got fucking. It's the loudest punches I've ever heard.
Like, his average fight time in the UFC was like 22 seconds or some shit.
Yeah, it's scary. and honestly, he, props to Aspinall, but he caught Aspinall pretty decent. Looked like Aspinall might go down, and then Aspinall came right back and finished him. But
Did y'all see Cyril Gahn punching that kid at the event?
Yeah.
Dude was eating the big heavyweight punches pretty good, man.
yeah, he looked like he weighed about 150 pounds too, and was just eating them.
I don't know about 150 because Cyril's big, right? And that guy was kind of tall sitting next to him, so he was probably about 190.
Cyril seems like such a nice guy, though. I doubt he was, even if it looked like he was hitting him pretty good, but he might have been pulling those a little bit.
Little bit. I don't think.
Yeah,
he tried
but
to
still,
go
props.
through, but he threw
Yeah.
a couple hard shots.
I just thought of another question going back to kind of the Jake Paul fight, because I want to try to cover any bases like maybe someone else hasn't asked you or something maybe you haven't thought about. But okay, so let's say you go out there and smoke Jake Paul like I expect you to, like you expect yourself to. What happens after that? So we see all the fucking time in MMA, and one of our biggest shout out Pereira and Adesanya, because they're two of the fighters that didn't really do this. They get these big fights. They become one of the top people in the sport. You get that one money fight, like you're getting with Jake Paul. Conor gets the Floyd fight, like all this stuff. You never really see these motherfuckers come back. Like, it's like a pain in the ass to get them to come back. It's almost like they accomplished everything they're going for. And I think I know your answer to this, but would we have to worry about you becoming one of those guys? You go out there, you beat Jake Paul, we don't see you for a couple years, because I don't think you're that type of guy. I think we see you back within 6 months in the BKFC ring. Like, so are you going to be one of those fighters that wins the big golden egg fight and you don't disappear? Are you worried at all that it would take any like that fire out of you? Like you finished, you beat the game?
No, because there's always some idiot to punch on that fucking thinks that they, like, I'm going to punch on Jake and then I'm going to go beat up Dylan in an MMA fight probably, and then go bare knuckle somebody else. And, my accountant called me earlier and was like, you're projected to make this much this year. I'm like, shit, well, I either got to beat that or, because it was a lot. And then I'm like, damn, Uncle Sam, they want me to make all this money this year so they can tax the shit out of me and get rich off of my back. I'm just a slave to the game, brother. So I have married this game of fighting, and it is who I am as a person. And there's nothing I can do about that. I just have to be me, and I have challenges ahead, and I'm in danger. And at all times, I must protect myself.
I mean, figured that's what you'd say. Yeah.
The
And
quick answer: that motherfucker ain't going nowhere. He's going to fight 3 more times. this
100%.
That's what I was
100%.
saying. That's what I was
But like,
saying.
but we hear other people say that shit, and we're like, yeah, totally, you would. Like, but no, with Mike, yeah, 100% makes sense. Okay,
No, there's
well,
shit to do. I got shit to do, man. Jake is just...
You got yachts to buy. There's only one way to do it, baby.
see, but this is specifically why you're so dangerous for Jake Paul, and why I'm so surprised he's taking it. He takes all these fighters. You're constantly, after your last fight, we were on a
that
podcast
Lambo
talking
yacht
about.
that Connor be sitting on, he be sitting on the front of the Lambo yacht like this, just bathing in the sun. That motherfucker nice, bro. That big ass, and it's a little yacht apparently, but it's huge, and he just be cruising it. And gosh, bro, I wanna pull up to the Formula One and watch on my Lambo yacht. I need the Tesla yacht. I said we gotta race yachts. I want the Tesla yacht, the electric yacht. That'd be sick.
You don't strike me as the type of person that sets up like a reward for yourself after the fight. But what would you say? You go out there, smoke Jake Paul. What's the first thing you do to like reward yourself? Is there something you buy? Is there something you go after? Is there just like a fucking $1,000 bottle? No, way more than that. Bottle of wine. Like, what do you do? Have you thought about that at all, or what do you think you would do?
I got something. I got something first. If Perry beats Paul, I'll gift Mike My presidential Rolex that he's always asking about. The rose gold Rolex with the fucking marble face. That is Mike Perry's if he beats Jake Paul.
Oh,
Oh no.
oh, motherfucker.
He set up and everything. He got in try hard mode, dude. Like,
Oh my God. I absolutely.
He's asked me about this watch like 5 times back. Every time we're
absolutely
together,
need
he's
that
like, I love
watch.
that fucking watch.
I absolutely need that watch in my life. I already planned on beating Jake. This is crazy.
oh man, I'm glad I
One
asked
punch
that
away,
question.
baby.
Oh, I'm gonna
punch
think
away.
about that watch for the next 31 days.
All right, but I do like that question, Mac. I just happened to think of that when you threw that
I'm
out.
glad I asked
So that's
now.
yours, Mike. If you beat Paul, done deal, in the box. That's yours. But what is the
My
one thing?
answer
Because you got to think about, like,
My answer was no, because I'm so in this mode of investing and putting this amount of money that I'm getting away, and before the fight even, I'm getting papers to get my beneficiary and get my family taken care of before this fight even takes place. So those things will all be in place. And in my opinion, I don't have anything to buy because I want to buy shit that costs too much that I don't have yet. I need a $10 million house. I need a $3 million. Well, Conor McGregor's boat, his one yacht is $12 million. And then his Lambo yacht's $3 million. I don't know. You know what I mean? The shit, I bought everything. I got everything that I could possibly need. I just eat a couple good meals. That's no big deal. Shout out to the H here in Orlando. They recently remodeled it. The food and everything is so great. Shout out to Kabuki as well. My boy Henry owns a couple Kabuki sushi spots. They're really good food down here in Orlando. Shout out to them. And I like to go on good dinners with my family and stuff like that. But like, I'm just trying to figure out what I do with this money and how I make it benefit me and how I can give back and how I can benefit the community and I ain't trying to give this shit away though. Like I worked hard for it, so I need $35 million so I can get a $10 million house and a $10 million boat, and then possibly another little boat that connects to the big boat or something.
A side boat.
Fucking gold, bro. It's a
You-
game plan.
All this is making me think of Eminem just dropped that new track Houdini or whatever, and I don't know why this. You said something earlier that made me think of this, but this reminds me of the beef between. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but it reminds me of the beef between MGK and Eminem. Obviously, you're Eminem in this scenario.
Jake is definitely MGK.
MGK, because it's the rich dude. He's got all this money already. He comes at the fucking goat of violence, thinking that he's gonna get out there and fucking run one on him. Eminem comes back, smashes that shit. I don't know, bro. This reminds me of that. This is how I don't know. I don't know if but it's there.
It's well because when he tried to release his poem or whatever he tried to say on his post to say that we were fighting, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna start with some 8 Mile shit, bitch? That's my. I'm from Detroit, bitch. I'm
Yep.
from Flint, Michigan, bro. I'm a Michigan boy, and I'm a Florida boy now. Though Florida's gonna show up for me. Obviously, it's like I was born in Michigan. I had some times there. I lived. It snowed in the winter. And then I went to Florida and was like, fuck. Florida has Latinas and it's hot all the time. 85 degrees year round all the time. I'm like, this is for me. I like the heat. I live under the fire. So, that's just, I got to stop being so self-centered, man. But it's been about me.
No.
We were talking about the damn Jake Paul fight. I'm so excited to do it. And then there's UFC cards and Jake was just talking shit about Dana. I'm like, I wanted to be like, bro, Dana don't care about you, bro. Like, he don't hate on you. He's really not hating on you. Dana doesn't care. If Dana talks about you, you guys probably got a deal behind closed doors where if anything Dana fucking talks about you, like Dana and me don't have a deal behind closed doors. So a couple of times I feel like he was talking about me. He wouldn't even say my name because it doesn't benefit the group chat that we got going on. So y'all got a group chat and
Yo, that gives me another question. Sorry, I'm not trying to, but
Hang on real quick, Mac. Dana White, give us UFC press passes.
yeah.
We need UFC press passes. We need us three to be able to come and interview fighters. There's no hate between us and the UFC or Dana or anybody else. We need those press passes. There's nobody else out in media right now that's doing the same kind of shit that we are, that's getting the same kind of views that we are, that's bringing the same type of outlook, that we do. So
Yeah, and
Show
I
some
mean,
love.
unless Mike's fighting, we base this show off UFC cards. So
There's a few good podcasts that popped up. They got
Rampages.
the Cejudo Kamaru, Rampage Jackson podcast is, he's good, and they're doing in person live guests, and they're spending money on it that way. But like that, I personally wouldn't have time for that type of commitment because I'm so busy fighting. That's the difference too. It's like in all the other podcasts, it's like I'm busy fighting and competing while taking time to love to speak to the fans. By the way, I mean I love this. This shit is like therapy. It pushes me. Because like I have to go spar tonight and shit, so I have work to do. I just got off an interview and I get to talk to you guys. I get to, and like it gets to be me that gets to beat up Jake Paul. So, I'm grateful. Dana, if we got the attention of Dana,
that was going to be my
ready
question, dude.
for it. I want to be ready for it. And, when I went on Joe Rogan, a lot of people was like, oh, I wasn't ready. And maybe I wasn't. And I don't know if I ever will be ready to talk. I try my best, but I'm ready to fight, though.
Well, so peep this. So let's say you go out there and just bring Josh, your question, talking about Dana, like it just made me think of this. Let's say you go out there. Well, again, we're just going to say you go out there, you beat Jake Paul's ass. What do you think that opens up as far as possibilities? Or like, what if Dana then goes, all right, now you got this kid Mike just beat up Jake Paul. He's one of the biggest stars out there now. He crossed over and he's from MMA. What if he came back? Yo, Mike, we need you back. I know the BKFC deal is one thing, but just in theory, like, would you feel disrespected if you went and beat Jake Paul, then Dana wanted to do business
I just don't think that that's the route that they're doing. I just don't think that they care about a celebrity type of fight or a famous person in their league or their organization. The NFL doesn't want these standouts, these outcasts that get street attention. They want professionalism. They like the couple stars that they get, but it's all about the NFL. It's all about the UFC. It's all about their organization, and they drown everybody else out. And anybody that is great enough and good enough to shine through, like, Alex Pereira he's a quiet guy. He's a warrior. He's a battle-hardened machine. He came up fast. He made it to the top. He won the belt, then he lost it, then he won another one, and he's just, he takes pictures. He's super humble. He shows up to the events and he looks good, but doesn't fucking talk shit. He made a couple of jokes. They're looking for.
But you're from the UFC, so you're a different thing. You left, you became like what everyone considers probably the best example of a fighter leaving the UFC and becoming bigger.
I'm kind of an olden times UFC though. It's like I got in when it was still the Fertitas, as the transfer was taking place, and that's where it switched over a lot. And I'm an OG UFC type of character, like guy, like from back in the day. That the sport is different now. I'm doing great in boxing. I'm loving the boxing. Jake Paul's talked about maybe doing an MMA fight in the PFL, or who knows if that'll ever happen. I'm talking about doing an MMA fight against Dylan Dennis. I don't think the UFC's ever going to give Dylan Dennis that shot. If I could go back and go do a UFC pay-per-view, I might be interested, but I'm loving the brawling, the boxing, the punching. I'm still very good. I've done some MMA rounds as of recently. I'm very highly skilled, and that's just skill that I'll take to the grave, man. It's just,
Here's the way I look at it, Mike. Why take a step back? Why go back, right?
Right.
When now everything you're doing is going forward, right?
Right.
And Mac will be releasing, me and Mike will be releasing some big news probably the week of the Mike Perry versus Jake Paul fight. Like, this is big fucking news. This is the next phase of Mike Perry's career, right? We'll be announcing that the week of the Jake Paul fight. Look for it. Dirty Boxing Championship. It's coming.
Awesome. Well, I mean, just as a hardcore MMA fan, I'm dreaming here. I know, but like, if I was part of the UFC, I would sit here and I'd be like, dude, let's say you just smoked fucking Jake Paul. I'd be like, bro, let's work a deal out with BKFC and bring Mike back for a main event BMF fight. Bare knuckle
I'm not
versus.
gonna get them. They already got the PPV buys.
I know, but like,
people who
just
are gonna
the
watch
idea of
them are
that's
gonna watch
awesome.
them. The people who are going to stream them are going to stream them.
And
And you
that's
know what
why-
they can do? They can pay 10 and 10 to a couple of bodybuilders who barely know how to fucking fight, and one of them's gonna knock each other out. And there you go. You got your UFC show, but it's just not as like, together like it used to be. I don't know.
No, yeah,
People
they're going
follow
through the motions
fighter,
now.
And then these fighters grew these huge followings, and now everything is UFC's following. And I'm not hating on it. That was their mission. That's the goal, probably, right? They're very NFLized now, like NBA, NFL. It's very high level promotion. It's just fight game is its own little special thing.
Truly. Yep. Valid.
Mike,
as
why don't
said.
you why don't we wrap this up, boys?
Sure.
Mike, why don't you lead us out? Any final words on the fight or whatever you want to say? It's been a pleasure as always, Mike. I'm proud of you, dog. I'm happy you get this opportunity.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my brother. Always an honor to come on here and work with you and get to speak with you and get the chance to speak my mind. Thank you to everyone who is watching. Thank you to all my fans and friends and my family and my followers. Thank you to everyone that is interested in this and everyone who will watch on pay-per-view, on Days in pay-per-view, and everyone who is coming to the show at the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Florida, what's up, man? We out here. Let's go. I'm ready to put the hands to Jake Paul's face and body and make him feel the pain. And that's the fight game for you. I've been building this up for a long time, and we're here, and I got work to do. I got the weight of the world going on. They expect me to do certain things. Well, I know what to expect out of myself, and I'm bringing a war to this motherfucker.
As we close this out, I don't know, we can cut this out, but let's do 5-second silence. Everyone listening, let's say well wishes, prayers, whatever for Mike Perry's mom as he requested. 5 seconds. Here we go. Let's go, Mike. Let's beat some ass, Mike. That's another episode of Overdogs. Oh man, we're over the moon dogs right now, bro. Mike Perry, get out there, whoop some ass. Follow us on socials. Bang.
This podcast episode was brought to you by Overdogs Bet. Sign up today for early beta access and free play at overdogsbet.com/beta.